Good morning, everyone. The crew is here. Oh, look at this pictures, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, I wanted to show you guys something. That, see that? Is Liam, our billy goat we had for 14 years. He was huge. Chapter 5, Part 3, we're still on the principles of creation, and I'm not sure what the title will be today yet. Whew, got all that hay. Hey, 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 hey. I need a broom handle now to turn the light on. Hey, Burley. Oh, what you doing up there? Huh? What you doing up there? Okay. Ugh, what's going on here? Oh, okay. All right. So, here's me. Oh, what is that? Burley, what did you eat? Yuck. Oh. Aw. Well, I'm not going to show that. He brought a rabbit. Huh? Aw. Poor thing. Okay, well, I'll take care of that later. Well, are you rabbit hunting? Did you go rabbit hunting? Oh, you brought it. Okay, all right. All right, okay, good job. Yeah, okay, not too fond of him, per se, when he brings a rabbit or a squirrel or a bird. But Burley, I like it when he sticks with voles and mice. We don't have rats here, thank God. And yeah, voles and moles and voles, moles and voles and mice. But when it comes to a cat, and he was born here, his daddy was a wild one somewhere out there, and we don't know, right, who daddy is? No. And he kind of shows a little bit of that side. Huh? Can I pick you up? Not fond of being picked up. Yeah, look at it, guys. Beautiful cat. He got his tear duct when he was real young. Something hurt him there, and so one of his eyes. But there's nothing one could do. It comes and goes. I keep an eye on it. In any case, so there it is. Burley, Maddie, you gotta come on the other side. Are you over here? Maddie? Madison! Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Maddie, you're gonna have to wait. He doesn't know the difference on what he hunts. And I have to acknowledge that. If I want the benefits of what I'm very happy with him, then some of the trophies he brings back and lays in front of me, and he brought that right in here. How did you get that rabbit in here, buddy? Anyway, we're pretty big. wants to show me what a good job he's doing. Now he knows that. Somehow praise is important to cats. That's why they lay their catch right in front of your dog door. Yeah. So what do we do? Oh, we get all grossed out. This, that. Oh, you kind of, that's good. Good job. Good job. Good job. I can't use a lazy cat here. Everyone here has their job, and that is that. As an animal, he does a great job. This is the first rabbit in probably 3 years he's brought, so he sticks pretty much with what there is enough here for him to bring home. And then that happens every once in a while. We make sure our bird feeders and all that is in places where he can't get to sneak up on him or anything, so there we go. Oh, okay, so that is a give and take with the principles of creation in an animal that reacts to your unity with it when it comes to the nature of the animal and the job that they in a way have. And somehow when you unite with them in that, then they in a way, right, get elevated to where they recognize that as something that you will praise them over. Okay. Make sense? No? Okay. Well, dogs are a better example and all that. Right? So, I showed you Liam out there because of what? What do you think? Liam came to us as a 3-day-old baby in the wintertime. I couldn't put him out here with the other goats in the barn because they would not have accepted him for starters. They were ready to give birth, so they probably would have tried to, the nannies, crush him or something. Okay, well, or at least shove him in a corner where then he would have gotten too cold and would have died. So I had him in the house for about 3 or 4 weeks, and we took care of him there. And then I put him in the barn, and no problem. I might have been a little longer, about 3 weeks. And he did just fine. So he is a he was a purebred Saanen goat. And he got to be huge. And his horns. I grew up in Switzerland. I've seen plenty of goats there. I have never seen a goat with horns like that in all my life. Even here with people. And I did not want to dehorn him. Neither did I do that with any of my other ones. The nannies, the babies. Because when you raise goats in the mountains, the horns are a means of defending themselves. Another thing too is they like to get into thickets and this and that. And the horns help them to get back out. Oh, so did I ever have a problem with the horns? Yeah, when I had colors on them. Well, I'm not going to get too far into that. And learned very quickly that, no, you don't put a color on any animal, for that matter. Because you're messing with them being together in a herd, and then they can get hung up, this, that, you might not know, and you could lose a goat. Yeah, all to your own vanity of wanting to put a bell and a collar on your coat. Now, if you go to a fair or something, it's a little different, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, Liam grew up to be a very exuberant specimen of his kind. Goats are not sheep. Goats are, if you want to call it, according to their instinct to snap, very intelligent per se. Intuitive. I'll call it intuitive rather than intelligent animals. And they are also can become very loving towards you. And recognize a master. Absolutely. They are also very playful. So playing with baby goats is fine, as long as you remember that they grow up and then they're still about 2 years old, they're just about grown, they're still teenagers, and they still want to play. Now they may have horns. They love to butt, right? It's a way to strengthen themselves, like practice, right? Okay. So then when you have cuddled and babied a goat, then they become bigger, then they start to kind of, okay, hey, wait a minute, because they can become real strong. Oh, Liam was as strong as an ox, just about. So now what? Well, Liam loved people. He just did. But the people didn't love him. Once he had them horns and that size that he was, and them googly eyes, people got scared. They sure did. They got scared of him. And the screaming sometimes, when people, it was non-stop, going, well, just leave him alone. Don't. So, it didn't take long, and suddenly, Liam, the cute little thing, became the mean old goat. Oh, my gosh, we have stories. 14 years. There was only one incident where someone really didn't get hurt, but got a lesson taught. And I'd warned them that, well, you know. But in all his 14 years, Liam never hurt anyone. Ever. Physically. Ever. I got to the point where I was just about the only one to deal with him. It wasn't dealing with him. I was dealing with the incompetence of the people on how they, certain things, this and that. And our goats here were all roaming free. Liam was the best father ever. When his girls would go into labor, he'd be right there outside under the window waiting. He wouldn't even go off, which he did for years and years and years with the horses, as if he were a horse, to go roam for hours and hours and then come back. He would stay. One time I couldn't get one goat, and she was already in labor, I could tell, and going, I got to get you in, I got to get you in. And she's laid down and going, this is a bad spot. And she was just too, I didn't want to freak her out. That can cause some problems when they're laboring. And Liam got her up and nudged her all the way down to the barn, right in front of this door. And I could go in and let her in, have her come in. And Liam never pushed his way in here, this or that, never, ever. And she was fine. She did great after that. Amazing. Had this goat's done some other things as well. Yet here, we are. And it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or a Satanist. What do you have in mind when it comes to a goat? When you saw that huge set of horns up there with that skull, what comes to your mind? Yeah. For some, an idol to worship. For others, to describe the absolute worst deviation from God's nature, which is Lucifer, Satan, the devil. Well, call it what you want. Archangel Lucifer is his proper name. So, that is to me offensive. That is to me offensive, the give and take that I have with the principles of creation, and then have to find it in the Bible? Not sure. In other ways, on how people who are way out of their mind, I don't care what anyone says out there, and put horns, right? And they're what? Yeah. Okay, there's another one, the ram, right? Which, you guys ever been around a ram? I mean, seriously, that's a male sheep, okay? You ever been around one? I don't know how people came up. I have. I don't know how people have come to the idea that they're something devilish or something. I swear, if they are awake a quarter of the day for anything, you're lucky. The rams that I've got to know, even around their herd and their babies, this and that, they are the slowest moving, most docile things you'll ever meet in your entire life. Now, if you want to look like that and or idolize some kind of an animal out there, I guess the ram would be a good thing. I guess the ram could teach you something. Goats could too. I guess, as I said, to depict something negative in the form of an animal is disturbing to me. It is offensive to the principles of creation. Oh, what about the snake in the Garden of Eden? I don't know. Who came up with that? Guarantee you it wasn't God. Okay? Guarantee you it wasn't God. Okay? At that time, what really happened in the Garden of Eden was that there was an imbalance that happened between the principles of creation and the principles of love. Basically, Adam and Eve had a conjugal relationship they were not ready for. God did not approve. But it happened anyway, and it happened beforehand with the archangel Lucifer and Eve. Tempting. Oh, okay. Well, at that time, can you imagine 4,000 years ago, if all that stuff would have been actually laid out like that? So they use a snake for the temptation and an apple for the continuation. Again, really? Is it really making people feel better, more secure when they use symbols from the principles of creation to depict evil? Seriously? Think about it. Then what are you doing? Basically, you're telling God you created something evil. And we're going to use that evil as an example for other evils. Or use it as Satanists. People who, whatever. Who need to have some kind of a, give it a physical form. Give their evil a physical form. And they're using my Liam. My wonderful 14-year-old lasted for 14 years. Fathered I don't know how many babies. healthy babies, took good care of his nannies, kept the place here very secure. That was the best watchdog I ever had. Wonderful animal. It was a wonderful blessing in my life. And there's people out there who wanted to depict him as evil. Use him to idolize evil. Use him to give evil a physical appearance. You people got to be kidding me. All right. So, yeah. Oh, and again, this isn't just Satanists who are doing that, or people who just worship evil and sex and lust and all that jazz. It is Christians. It is other religions who use animals for worship, use animals for behavior, human behavior, on how that relates to an animal, which is completely false, okay? Completely, absolutely, 100% false. And it is an insult to God, again, on how we abuse the principles of creation, the beauty of, I'm coming, Maverick, the beauty of what is out there and how you relate to it. And we have decided, from early on too, by the way, of our spiritual existence, is to degrade them like that. Degrade them like that. All right, then there's the other. Right? That's one part. Then there are people out there who are the complete opposite, where suddenly now they need to have a relationship, a physical relationship with an animal. That is a violation. That violation is so great within the principles of creation. It's, how is that possible for people to get to that point? I tell you. Yep, I'm coming, Maddie. I'm right here. Maddie? Oh. There you go. Okay, so, well, no, there's no well or It is disturbing the leaf. And then, again, because it is a sensitive subject, this that, people don't really want to talk about it or this or that. And again, instead of saying, absolutely not, we can work on that if you want to, get you fixed up. I mean, what I mean with that is, get to the root of your problem psychologically. But as far as bringing that evil into my house, and I have to accept that, yeah, that's not going to happen. Never, ever. The other thing too is selfish human beings like that, to do that to an animal is, I don't even want to know where you are going to end up in spirit world. Oh. So there it is. The abuse of the principles of creation isn't just with chemicals, this, that. It is on how we view what has been given to us out there. With the plants, the hybrids are good for 1 year, and then that's it. And one can. The good thing about that is that the integrity of a seed is never lost on 100%. So it can be rebuilt upon year over year over year. But it takes about 4 or 5 years for a hybrid to a hybrid seed that you got from a hybrid fruit or vegetable. You can regenerate the original code of it to become an heirloom again. But the way we are messing with plants as well will be eventually detrimental. Oh, not to the plants out there, to us. And yet, in many ways, that's abuse. I know that carving your initials into a tree, this gnat, oh, what's the big deal? It really isn't. Unless you make a cut all around the tree will survive for many years with your little initials in there, this gnat. But why would you do that to a growing living thing? Huh? What for? Why? Is there any particular reason to do that? Except for you just don't care about a growing living thing. Even though a tree can't scream, doesn't mean it's not in pain. And if you go back after you have cut your initials in a couple of days later or 3 days later, there will be sap coming through there. That is their lifeblood. If it runs out of the tree, I guarantee you it's hurting the tree. Oh, but yeah, I get the buts. Okay. Just saying. Think a little bit farther when you do certain things. Anyway, that's basically what I wanted to share this morning, is the abuse of breathing, living things, of the principle of creation that we have decided to use for our own abnormal behavior to make, Maddie, that's a, don't mess with that rabbit. It's a way to, again, shift responsibility onto something in the creation we're messing with in the principles of love, oftentimes. So then, the outlet is there. You don't have to look in the mirror and look at yourself and going, what am I saying? What did I just do? Because you can deflect it upon something that can't talk back to you. Liam couldn't tell the people, if you just leave me alone, we're fine. Also, if you have a spray bottle with water in your hand, he's like, okay, no problem. Didn't like water. It's very easy to control him, right? If he didn't mess with his horns, but he couldn't tell you, right? Don't mess with my horns. Hey, you know what? This is a bad time right now. I'm not in a bad mood. Just stay away. You could tell when he felt like that. But in a way, he can't tell you. Right? Hey, thanks for that great feed. I love you. Which he was when he was hurt, when he would get hurt, sometimes it happened that he had a rock or a stick in his hoof. I have to get up to that gut, okay? And try to get that out with that set of horns and him probably being already irritated. Do you know that every time I would do that, if there was something and had to take care of it, he'd just stand there and go, thank you. Yeah, okay, couldn't say it, but he'd just stand there very patiently until I was done taking care of him. Very patient. Never even moved because he knew I was helping him. Yeah. So, I guess, besides taking a stand for certain things that are just right to take a stand for, take a stand for the principles of creation as well. By number one, say, I'm not listening to that anymore. there are certain other things about the animal world and the plant world that are just really out of control when it comes to on how we use them as examples as well out there, right? That are not true. Because of some kind of a surface, you know them on the surface, but you never go and dig deeper on why they're doing it. For example, with Burlington, brought a rabbit home. I could be up and I was like, oh my God, he killed a rabbit. Oh no, right? Then all I'm doing is just looking at the surface of where I want him to do what I am comfortable with him doing. Even though in the principles of creation, he's exactly designed to do as he does, which is hunt whatever animal he'll be able to catch, which includes a rabbit, which includes a bird. You see? Well, anyway, that's what I wanted to say today. Let's let the crew in. Got all that nice hay. Come on, guys. And then my daughter's coming today with her friend. I'm going to send them to the barn and get these guys de-stickered. And those girls can go and do that. That's right, huh? Spend some time with their buddies, which I think is important. And the last part of this is, though, in a way, go on. I've had some difficult animals here that I still do. I got one cat, not Burley, and she just doesn't know what inside and outside is. It doesn't matter how many litter boxes I put everywhere. So what now? Well, geez, well, you just kind of go along with it and try your best. Okay? But I think, again, too, I say, Larry-farty, finicky way on how people get an animal and then when it's not working out, just get rid of it again. I have been given so many animals. People say, hey, you want this, you want that. We can't really take care of it. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, we're moving and we can't blah, 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 blah. You know? And if I could, I would every time. But it was disheartening to me on how some people, there still is, view the principles of creation, plants and animals, just as a get rid of it whenever you want, without any kind of responsibility towards a living thing, a thriving thing. Given with so much care from our Heavenly Parent. Many of us, are so amazed over the picture of a dragonfly, a butterfly, a beautiful flower, this and that. We're so enthralled by it and are amazed, right? Now with a microscope, you can see all these amazing details on certain things that God created out there. Yet when it comes down to it, to care for it, also in this amazing way that is being taught to us on how amazing these animals and these plants are, we completely turn that 360. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? You've got that one side we're so enthralled with, then you have the other side. How where is there any unity between on what has been given to you in this perfect, beautiful way on how it has been created and how you take care of it? Then, you see, right? Yeah. Come on, guys. Piggy, 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 piggy. And I already hear some people, yeah, well, but then, let me tell you something. And you go ahead and you do whatever you want out there. Eat whatever you want. But there is a balance there too. If you upset that, we're going to have another problem. When I got to feed them chickens real quick here. Someone asked me one time, so how can you eat them goats that you raise? Oh, okay. So the one thing here that we did, unless someone said, hey, I want an offspring of a male from Liam, and I didn't advertise that because I was afraid that well, anyway, I like my privacy. So, when we had too many of the boys, which you can't have more than one billy goat, I neutered them, and that's not painful for them. If you do it at the right time, then it's mainly the one uncomfortable thing for them is the band, but that's just because there's a band there now. So, and it goes very quick. There's no bleeding or anything at all. Okay, it's kind of like, if you want to look at it that way, the navel cord of a baby. It's cut, and then it starts to dry off, and then it falls off on its own. Right? Yes, that's kind of like that. It's really not. It's not a horrible thing that you do. But what it does is, when you do that with male baby goats, they don't develop these glands where then they start to stink. Oh, holy cannoli, they can stink. Oh yeah, not the girls, just the boys. And so that doesn't develop, and then it can be meat. You can raise them for meat. I usually raised ours for about 2 years. And they had the best life here. Okay? They could roam around free. They had playtime. They had, oh my gosh, just wonderful. Okay? And up to that point, also because they were neutered, Liam didn't care. Right? Liam wouldn't start fights with them or anything. Once they got like a year old or something, right? He wouldn't do that. They were just his boys kind of thing. And they had a wonderful, beautiful life here. I gave them all a wonderful, beautiful life. A free life. And then after 2 years, I look at them going, well, buddy, it's time to give back. I fed you, cuddled you, took care of you, gave you the freedom you deserve as an animal, the environment you deserve as an animal. Now it's time to give back. That's how the give and take works with animals that you raise for food. And I hear all the buts again, but that's what I did. That is the proper give and take you have with animals that you raise for food. I did the same thing with rabbits. I did have them at first in cages because it was a disaster. I hated it. I didn't like any bit of it. So I created under our porch this huge area for them to cruise around. Males, females, this, that, oh, yeah. But they all had their own little section when it came to a family. They had to have that eventually. And they had outside, I fenced it in out, and they didn't really ever escape. They just stayed there. They could burrow. They made their own burrows underneath it to snap. When the babies were born, which rabbits in the wild, actually, they mate for life, okay, with one man, one male and one female. And they would raise their families. Then I would, again, raise their babies together. In captivity, per se, when you can't leave a male in a cage with a female who has babies, he most likely will kill them all, or the mother will kill them all because of the threat of the father. Interesting? Mine didn't do that. They did not do that. And those babies, they grew big and fat, right? And then it was time that you had a beautiful, wonderful life. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to break up the family. But eventually, there would have been problems between the brothers and sisters, so I didn't want that. Right? Got to raise good meat. Got to be aware of things like that. If you're doing it in captivity per se, even though, as I did it, right, you still have to watch that in order to get really good meat and not suddenly have real bad problems going on. So there it is. Huh? Yeah. If hunting is an important job for men out there at the right time, right? At the right time. That's why we have certain times of the year for different animals. There's hunting season. If you did not have any hunters out there, then I'm not sure how you would raise a garden. You know, or you have to have everything fenced in. Well, how will you keep everything fenced in or even be able to get to your garden if you never want no animal ever killed or this or that? Right? How many pigs do you think are suddenly going to be digging into your garden? Or rabbits? Boars out there who are roaming around free this snap are very dangerous. So are bulls. But if you never, so what are you going to do? Sterilize every animal out there somehow? Wait a minute. So you instead of doing what you're born with canine teeth, that means we eat meat. It sustains us as well, right? What is your plan? When you're telling people, right, eating meat is bad. What are you telling people out there? You are completely going against the principles of creation. You will not be able to raise your own vegetables anymore. Or anything. Grow corn or this or that. You won't be able to. Too many animals. Hunters, people who eat meat, keep the population of certain animals down. Okay? Oh, well, now though, you know, with all... Yeah, okay, well, here's the thing. Again. There's so many people out there, when it comes to the principles of creation, which I'm not going to name what that is here, say, well, we are going to decide on our own. We are going to completely disregard the principles of creation. And we decide who and what we are. Okay, well, wait a minute. And yet, you're telling people out there that eating meat is bad. Oh, that's so cruel. Oh, that's this and that. You're not making any sense. So, here's the thing though. I absolutely 100% agree that the big overabundance farms we have out there who keep animals under horrific conditions, so you can have your steak, and you can have your pork, and you can have your whatever, okay? Then, well, why don't you inform yourself over the meat that you buy? There are plenty of people out there who raise good meat, have the certifications for it and this and that. Organic meat. And instead of bringing home the big packs of I don't know what, you get a small pack and you make it last. You don't need to eat that much meat. But, right? So, if one wants to get on a bandwagon to be an advocate of raising animals in a more healthy, in a more acceptable environment, according to the principle of creation and how they should be treated, yes. But I'm already doing that. I am already doing that. So it goes both ways, right? The imbalance in all that is phenomenal. Right? Yes. Okay. Well, I think that's all I wanted to say today. Right? There is a book out there. It's called Food for a Poisoned Planet. And it's in red, yellow, and green lights. What foods, not organic per se, but in other ways is acceptable, that you can still eat, where you don't have to worry too much about it being altered and this and that and I don't know what, right? Yeah. And then the ones that are kind of, and then the ones you should absolutely 100% avoid. And not support their production. Yeah. So, there was one more thing, just a quick one. And people come and tell me, yeah, but on these farms where they're separating the babies, the cow, from the cow, and then, this and that going, okay, wait. I was raised, or literally had uncles and aunts that had milk cows. Enough of them where there's just a certain system on how you set them up, and the babies can't always just stay with them. They would get crushed and trampled and this, that. And a milk cow produces milk. Now, if they take the milk away from the cow and then the baby doesn't have any, oh my God, people just dumb. Get both sides. Yeah? I've raised calves, and you take they don't necessarily have to have a tit. You put your hand in it, they give them the milk that they need, and then you put your hand in there, and the baby sucks the milk up through your fingers, right? Between here. It's so tickly, I tell you. So, and then the cow can be milked out. So the cow's not in pain. Because a calf will never drink all that milk of a milk cow. All right? So it gets what it needs, and then the cow gets milked. But for some reason out there, people say, oh, the poor babies, they're not getting the milk, and they're being separated from their moms. Huh? That's not true. And again, if the people out there didn't need to have the gallons and gallons and gallons of milk, that then a farmer says, well, I guess I'll get 10 more cows, produce some more, and then has to kind of, again, organize how he's going to keep the calves and this, that, and I don't know what. And by the way, a lot of people don't know that a cow only will give about milk for about 2 years. Then she has to have another calf in order to produce more milk. Yeah, that was a laughable one. Well, but they don't have to have babies. Oh, okay. Just go away. Just go away. And that's the kind of information that is out there. That's the kind of knowledge that is out there. So before one starts to just accuse or point fingers at something that you don't really know how it works, then get the info first. Or don't say anything. And then, really, when it comes down to it, number one thing. Oh, well, so you're what? You're a carnivore, you're a omnivore, or you're a vegivore. You're all going to McDonald's? Okay. Good for you. All right. Now, I've said enough. Gotta take care of these guys. Nope. I'm going to have my daughter do this. I'm going to get away with it this time. All right. God's love and blessings always. Yeah. Got to open your eyes to what's out there, huh? And most likely, it's always to the benefit of the big dude, huh? The one's going to make money. Money by the pound. Huh? Yes. All right. God's love and blessings always. Talk to y'all another time.